Clarity beats accuracy. That is one of my problems in communicating. About 12 years ago, I tried to compliment one of my son's classmates about his backpack. He has a very nice backpack. And I said to him, "Hey, what's up, my homie? You know what I'm saying? You have a very nice backpack." And he said, "What did you say?" He almost died laughing the way I speak. So, in this video, I will try my best to improve the way I speak. This is a video about how autoimmune complex is formed in IgA nephropathy. I did discuss the autoimmune causes of IgA nephropathy, and I also discussed about the 3 mechanisms that contributes to the destruction of your kidney. And there's one more mechanism that everybody knows already. This is about the activation of your renin-angiotensin aldosterone system. With the activation of this renin-angiotensin system, it produces a lot of angiotensin 2, which causes vasoconstriction, resulting in a high blood pressure, an increase in blood pressure intraglomerally, and cause damage of your kidney. So that is the other mechanism which everybody knows, and I did not explain in my previous videos. I've been discussing this previously. Common denominator of almost all the diseases like cancer, diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis are caused by an increased cytosolic calcium. Once the calcium is increased inside the cell, it will bind to a protein kinase called calcium calmodulin dependent protein kinase 4. It will also bind with other calmodulin like the calmodulin 1, 2, but in this video I'm only focusing on calcium calmodulin dependent protein kinase 4, which after binding will produce a lot of pro-inflammatory cytokines. In a normal resting state of the cell, the outside the cell has more sodium ions while the inside has more potassium ions, and the outside is more positive charge while the inside is more negative charge. So the difference between these voltage are maintained by our protein or called channels. We have the 2 most important channels that maintain these ones are the the potassium leak channel. We have the sodium ion channel and the calcium channel, or the L-type voltage-gated calcium channel. So our body has electricity. It conducts electricity using these ions: sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium. The magnesium ions is the most important mineral of all. Why? Because it regulates the sodium and calcium ions to have a calming effect of the cell. The magnesium helps the cell to bring back to its resting state. Deficiency in magnesium is very crucial to the disease process. When your cells are excited, or the other term is when the first reaction is depolarized. So when your cells get excited, initially the first reaction is depolarization. Now the cell normally has a negative 70 millivolts. Once the cell is activated, the voltage will rise inside the cell, starting from negative 70 millivolts up to positive 30 millivolts. And this is when sodium ions are opened. But then at about negative 55 millivolts, a L-type of calcium voltage-gated channel is also activated, contributing to the depolarization of the cell. Now once it reaches to positive 30, it will bring down to negative 70 to a resting potential, because this potassium ions will leak out from the cell. And that's why potassium is very important. The magnesium is very important in regulating the release of sodium out from the inside to the outside, and the release also of calcium, causing a calming effect. So that's how magnesium is important to our body. If we have a bacterial infections, we have a viral infections, or any inflammations, this can cause, all of this here can cause an increased cytosolic calcium. So the main purpose of this last video is to reduce the amount of intracellular calcium inside the cell. Okay? Now, if all of these external stimulus from bacteria to virus to drug, overdose of drug to high sugar content or any inflammatory substance or any type of inflammations, maybe surgery, maybe hereditary or genetics, epigenetics, this can cause an increased calcium. Once the calcium is increased, remember what I said earlier, when the millivolts of the cell reaches to negative 55, when depolarization started, the depolarization will be spread out, causing a spreading depolarization, and this is very dangerous, causing injury to a cell. In the case of cardiac muscle, this is a sudden death or myocardial infarction. But in the case of muscle, like in the case of our skeletal muscle, this is like a muscle twitch or muscle cramps due to an increased calcium inside the cell, prolonged, and the calcium were not able to get out, get out due to magnesium deficiency. Okay, so in the cardiac muscle, note this electrocardiogram, this shaded area has spread depolarization. Look at this. So this is a suspected myocardial patient. Now compare it to a normal electrocardiogram. So the QT wave here is increased due to the retention of calcium, and we're not able to get out the cell because due to the deficiency in magnesium ions. After the coupling of calcium and calmodulin molecule, this molecule can bind strongly to another protein to phosphorylate, and this is where the initial cascading effects of a lot of biological reactions, and that can cause cancer, rheumatoid arthritis, diabetes. But the binding of this CAMK4 to another protein molecule is very strong at a pH 5. And this is the reason why cancer will grow better at pH 5. Calcium calmodulin can bind strongly, but less at pH 7. This is the importance now of eating alkaline food, drinking alkaline water, because calcium calmodulin cannot bind strongly if you have an alkaline pH. So this is a study, the role of electrostatic interactions in calmodulin peptide complex. Now, that is the charge response is much larger at pH 5. Now you see why alkalinization of your body is so important. So this is our approach. Our approach is the goal here is to make our cell bring back to resting state all the time. The second goal here is to reduce the affinity of calcium calmodulin and blocking the effect of CAMK4. The third approach is inhibiting interleukin 6 activity. Okay, so how? By blocking and inhibiting calcium CAMK4 and interleukin 6 activity respectively. So how we do that? You eat a low-calorie, low-carb, plant-based diet, no animal protein, no dairy products, no processed food, no sugar drink, no MSG, no aspartame, no lots of omega-6. Basically, no inflammatory food. By reducing the inflammation of your body, you reduce calcium inside the cell. Okay? So you eat a lot of vegetables, alkalinize yourself, but if you have a gout, do not eat broccoli, cauliflower, and asparagus because they have a high purine. And high purine can increase your uric acid, which then react to macrophages and osteocytes of your bones, producing interleukin 6. Interleukin 6 can cause a lot of biological reaction, can initiate the autoimmune and non-autoimmune response. So next is eat calming foods that are rich in magnesium, because remember, magnesium can regulate the sodium and calcium. It is a calcium antagonist. It has a calming effect. Next, eat rich in potassium food. Now, if you have an end-stage kidney disease, it's a little bit harder because you have to eat potassium. You have to eat potassium, but you have to make sure that the potassium will not rise to 5.4. So you can maybe eat, I don't know exactly how much, you can maybe eat half banana or all these green leafy vegetables. You have to make sure that you have to test that your potassium will not rise above 5.4. It is wrong to say do not eat fruits. I believe it is wrong to say do not eat fruits because your potassium is dangerous. It is true, it is dangerous, but it's also dangerous if you have a low potassium. So you eat the fruits, but you have to determine your potassium level. Make sure that you know how much you can eat. So you have to bring the potassium within the range. Because remember, potassium is very important also in polarization of your cell. So next, vitamin C, taking or saturating yourself with vitamin C. Maybe taking 10 or 20 capsules a day of vitamin C can reduce glutamate toxicity. So by reducing the glutamate toxicity, it can also contribute to the calming effect of the exciting cells. How does this contribute to the calming effect? The vitamin C will react with the glutamate portion of the mouth of your channel. You know, in your channel, there is in the mouth of your channels, there is an amino acid line. We have this glutamate, aspartate, threonine, serine. The glutamate is found at the mouth. Glutamate has a negative charges, therefore it will react strongly with positive ions, which is it can attract strongly with calcium ions. So by taking so by taking vitamin C, vitamin C will react to the glutamate portion, dulling the effect, dulling the attraction of the positive charges of calcium, thus reducing the entrance of calcium, promoting more relaxation. So take or eat food that can block the effect of interleukin 6. There are many foods that can block the effect of interleukin 6. We have turmeric, ginger, pineapple, ashwagandha root, moringa, maca, hesperidin, bitter melon, vitamin D3. Take vitamin K2 to prevent atherosclerosis, CVD or cardiovascular disease. Take omega-3 because reducing inflammation can reduce cytosolic calcium. Take active form of folic acid or 5-MTHF or 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate and vitamin B12 because these two produce a large amount of glutathione which fight free radicals and inflammations, reducing your cytosolic calcium. Drink water or baking soda so that you can alkalinize more, helping your vegetables that you eat to alkalinize your body so that the calcium calmodulin and the protein that will initiate all this cascading effect cannot bind. So you're reducing the inflammation. Then you take also phosphate vapor to reduce vascular calcification or reduce cardiovascular disease. And lastly but not the least, drink enough water, exercise. So by doing all of these that I mentioned, it will increase nephrin, causing an improvement of your proteinuria, improving your kidney functions. These are the evidences of the patient that I've studied showing an improvement in proteinuria, an improvement in podocyte filtering process. I cannot continue right now because I'm running out of time, so please subscribe my channel, click the notification bell so that you will be notified. I will release this evidence in my next video. Thank you very much. And my name is Glenn Vale. Thank you very much.